This one's starting to feel like a slog now, whereas feeling really good for the first hour.
That's because we had to stop for poos.
Can you say that into the mic a bit louder?
Don't reference if it's the dog or us. It was 4 o'clock.
Oh my god, my cheeks hurt.
Hello and welcome to the third and final instalment of the Vault Trilogy. This week, it's The Hangover. I am joined by Chandler Monk.
Hello.
James Robbins. Oh. Okay. And I'm Alex Clinton. Welcome to the Three Takes of Stupidity. Can you put some cricket noises under James there?
Could do. Could find some cricket noises.
What have you been doing this week?
I have stupidly bought a bicycle.
Oh.
Basically, tomorrow, as of recording, so probably when you guys listen to this, I will be on a stag do that is revolved around cycling.
I think Lance Armstrong's already married.
I am not the keenest of cyclers in the world, so it will be a very interesting weekend. I'm pretty sure the best man who's organised this stag do listens to this podcast, so he probably won't listen to this for a couple of days until after the stag do's been and gone, because he's stressed with it. So all I'm going to say is, I fucking hate you. Why have you organised a cycling stag do? I know the stag's a great cyclist, but the 14 other people coming on this are terrified.
I can imagine he's stressed because he's told everyone to buy a bike.
Yeah, exactly. I've had to spend like 250 quid extra on this stag do to buy a bicycle.
What are you gonna? Are you gonna like cycle between pubs?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Which which in of itself is so dangerous.
It's illegal, isn't it? You can't cycle while drunk.
No, you can't.
Okay, you're committing a crime. That's good.
Cycling while drunk will probably be the least of my crimes that I've ever committed in my life. Alex, what have you been up to this week?
I finished Masters of the Air.
The fuck is that?
It's like Band of Brothers, but the Air Force version.
Right.
It's honestly, the first 3 episodes are some of the best TV I've ever seen.
Ooh.
After that, it drops. It literally nosedives. But that's just the nature of the story. The first couple of episodes they're like in the planes going to bomb Germany. It's so atmospheric. Like you're in there with them. They're like, it's claustrophobic. There's genuine fear and panic, and it's fantastic. But they can't keep doing that every episode, and I get that. It becomes a bit more story based, and honestly, watch the first 3 episodes.
Ooh, interesting. Fair enough. Well, as you've probably realised from Alex's intro, James is still away. He's still living it up in East Asia. So, as has been the norm for the past 2 weeks, let's hear what James has been up to.
Three Takes fans, I am now in Hanoi. Been here since last Saturday. It's been really fun, a bit more chill, getting definitely tired of the holiday, which is one of the most cringy things I think you can say. But today was an incredible day. We had a cooking class and a market tour around like the produce market where fish, meat, veg and fruit come in and feeds like 9 million people or whatever from Hanoi and villages around. Really, really incredible. And then had the cooking class where we made our own like tofu, had soup, had a salad, and then this like coconut dessert. Really, really amazing. And it was all in a family home of a Vietnamese woman who's a chef who met Gordon Ramsay once upon a time. Honestly, an incredible experience. And tomorrow we go to Ninh Binh to see the old ancient capital, go row down a river, go on a cycle in 30-degree, 90% humidity, and go on a little hike. It's going to be a really big, tiring day. And what will be less tiring for you is listening to our episode on The Hangover. I remember the record going quite well, I think, out of this trilogy, our first 3. And spoilers, I remember the film being just substantially better than the other two. Wild Hogs was bad, Hot to Time Machine's classic, but we weren't kind of against doing The Hangover because it was so well known. But then watching it back, I remember it was like, yeah, okay, it was a good film. But anyway, I am going to be back in the UK next week, and then we might take a little break and then get back to our regular scheduled programming. Please enjoy.
What you heard there was 40 seconds of a two-minute recording where he explained to us that he ate dumplings in a Vietnamese family's house and how they prepared it and how he's been to a little fountain and yeah.
It's really funny, and I think I'm going to say this, and I really hope James actually listens back this episode and hears this before he has a go at us on our WhatsApp chat. James needs to learn how to be succinct. Do you not think, Alex?
Oh yes.
To the listeners at home, a lot of our podcast, a lot of the stuff that ends on the cutting room floor is just James rambling on for minutes and minutes and minutes, and then I decide, right, half of that's going in. But anyway, so what you guys are about to listen to, The Hangover. We recorded this a year ago, and I think once you listen to it, you can sort of see that this is the first sort of episode where we were like, okay, this is sort of our format. Like, you can see Alex's intro, James talking to us about the week, and then us giving our actual like take on the whole movie at the end. It's the first time we actually refer to ourselves as the Three Takes of Stupidity.
Yeah, it's the first time we changed our name to become what we are now.
Yeah.
That was a tough moment for all of us that really enjoyed the pratfalling name, but it had to be done.
I do prefer the Three Takes of Stupidity to pratfalling.
Let's not. We're not wedded to this name now. So if you want us to change, please let us know.
Fair enough. I think as I said, a couple of weeks ago, pratfalling is a very niche movie reference, whereas Three Takes of Stupidity kind of does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, there will be 3 takes. We're all stupid. Easy.
Easy.
Nice and easy. But this recording was tough in different ways. There was a lot of poo breaks.
We won't say if that was for any three of us or James's dog. You at home decide who that was for.
But please do listen out for the little farts coming from maybe James's microphone.
Do you know what you can hear in this record? Actually, you can hear little clicks and ticks and stuff, and that's me playing with my watch. I'm pretty sure. So every so often, if you hear a click, that's me just playing with my watch near my microphone.
That was when Chandler got bored.
Yeah, because James wasn't being succinct.
James wasn't being succinct, and James had to go for another poo break.
And yeah, I think this was the audio quality is a bit better on this one, to be fair, than the other two.
It. Yeah, it's a really good listen. We had a lot of fun with this movie because it's a very fun movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. So yeah, as James said at the end of his message, I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hello and welcome to the Three Takes of Stupidity, the film podcast where the three of us take 3 movies and give you our 3 takes. This week we're continuing our theme of buddy movies. So far we've watched Wild Hogs, Hot Tub Time Machine, and now it's time to get hungover. As always, the 3 takes are here. It's James.
Hi.
It's Chandler.
Hello.
And it's me, Alex. Let's have a hangover.
So guys, it's the 3rd episode of our first series, the film to round it out. How are you feeling?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm loving every second of it.
Good.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Why
Is it not a pleasure to be here, James?
It should be, but I don't know why he sounded so fake. I'm quite happy to talk about the film we're covering today, especially to round it all out. But Alex, that didn't seem genuine.
Me too. This film, I've been in this situation many times. Many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you actually?
Oh yeah, hundreds.
Hundreds. Give me one example.
Have you roofied on a stag do?
Spoilers.
On a stag do. Oh no, I just meant hungover.
But lying on your sofa after eating half a doner kebab the night before, finding it and finishing it is not quite the same as
you
the
don't do that.
hangover.
You have it in the morning, or you finish it on the night.
Yeah,
Like
you
a
finish it
grown-
on the night.
You either finish it on the night, or you have it in the
I'm
morning.
sorry, I made a misconception about you. That's what I thought you'd be like.
Christ.
He's not that much of a cretin.
You can't. Oh,
I'm sorry. Anyway,
I'm not allowed to say Mong, but he's allowed to say that.
Chandler, how are you feeling? Series
good.
1.
Series 1? Is that what we're calling this?
Series 1. Series 1.
That makes it sound like we've done a hell of a lot more work than we actually have done.
It's 3 films. It's been hard work.
Solid work.
Working in 3s. It's been 3 hours to start this record. Have you been up to anything? Watched anything good?
What have I watched? I finished my rewatch of Scrubs recently. That was really good. I didn't watch Series 9, The Interns, because that doesn't exist to me. But yeah, the original finale of Scrubs is fantastic.
I agree.
And then I'm showing my partner at the moment. We're rewatching a British police show called No Offence, which is on Disney Plus at the moment. It's quite good. It's about a police squad in Manchester taking different cases and stuff. It's really good. I'd recommend it.
Interesting. Disney Plus, you say?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
No, it.
That last series of Scrubs, I didn't mind it, but I had to think of it as a different show.
The Interns? Or,
like,
it is a different show. Yeah. Like, it's completely different. It's awful.
I wouldn't say it's awful. I'd say it's different and it's not what you want. It's not what you're after. You want the classics.
It's awful. Anyway, Alex, you watched anything recently?
I have. I'm very excited. James, please join with me. Hold hands.
I'm reaching across the room.
Fallout. It's so good.
Incredible.
It's so good. It's like a fine cheesecake.
A fine cheesecake?
You have the first little sliver. Oh, it was delicious. Can't wait to have some more. You have some more. Oh, it's even better. And then you finish the whole thing and you're like, oh my God, that's fantastic. I must have another cheesecake. But unfortunately, they've only done one series.
Only one series. And they're definitely going to renew. It's one of the few game TV shows that have gone down really well.
It has.
And it was brilliant. They just lent to the source material really well. They didn't try and recreate anything, but it is within the same universe. You've got references all over the place. Me and Alex would like to do a review or a podcast on it ourselves. Maybe if Chandler watches it, he can join. But if not,
I will watch it then.
We'll get something current into our schedule,
into our podcast of looking back at films that were released over 15 years ago.
Hey, it's a podcast. And
that's
that's a series. It's a series. As you know, we've been following films of, I don't even know how to sum up this genre, guys. Dude bro is what I've been calling it, but it's really not right. It's more like middle-aged men go on a journey of self-discovery.
Middle-aged buddy movies.
I mean, yeah, the last two, like this one is not middle-aged, to be fair. This is more, a bit younger.
This is kind of
30-year-olds.
These are
not middle-aged. Okay. We're approaching 30, guys. Come on.
These guys are like 40s, probably late 30s. And I would say Hot Tub Time Machine's age was fairly similar. It's only Wild Hogs where they were ancient.
Ancient? Harsh.
John Travolta would take real issue with you calling him ancient.
Yeah, because he's used injections to make him not be ancient.
That is true.
Poor guy.
Just to jog your memory, in case you've not watched the film, in prep for listening to this podcast, 3 funny guys wake up the next day from a stag do in Las Vegas with no memory of the previous night and the bachelor missing. They travel around the city, getting into all sorts of adventures in order to find their friend before his wedding.
Now, for those not on this side of the Atlantic, a stag do is a bachelor party.
A bachelor party is a stag do.
A bachelor party is a stag do.
Yeah.
Are we trying to think what was the first phrase? Stag do or bachelor party?
Chicken or egg. Stag do, bachelor party.
But yeah, this one's slightly higher rated than the others that we've done in this series. 7.7 on IMDb and tomato meter of 79%. Yeah, this film is like objectively a lot better than the other two, isn't it?
It really, really is. I looked at how many awards it's won. It's won like at least over like 30.
What awards did it win?
15 wins, 23 nominations. That's it. That's a high level. I don't think the other two even got close to that.
Probably definitely fucking
I
not.
don't think Hot Tub Time Machine won an award. I think Wild Hogs did.
Wild Hogs won like a People's Choice Award or something, didn't it?
That's still an award. That is still an award. You get to put that on your shelf and people can say, look at that. An award.
Todd Phillips, the director and producer of The Hangover, did win a Golden Globe for this.
Golden Globe?
For this?
For The Hangover. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I'm shocked by that. It is a really good film.
It is a good film.
It's a good comedy film. I think it's a solid start, possibly the most perfect start to a movie that I've maybe ever seen. It's the phone call with the wife is perfect exposition where Bradley Cooper is telling us all what has happened, and it's all gone wrong. Terrible things have happened. There's some figures stood by a car you can't really make out, which is quite nice for, a bit of foreshadowing. And then the wife's very unhappy. And it's just a perfect beginning.
It is you are right. It is probably one of the best openings to a film because it does set up the film very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And it does have a very good joke from Jeffrey Tambor at the beginning. It's like, you don't leave the table when you're on a heater. I really enjoyed that. As a mild gambler, it's very funny.
It's funny that you mention how it's a perfect start, because as we've gone up in rating for these films, have you noticed how it has taken far less time each time to actually get into the movie?
I did note this down.
So Wild Hogs, 35 minutes to actually get to the bread and butter of the movie. Hot Tub Time Machine, 10 minutes or so, establishing all the characters. You are introduced to everyone in this film very quickly, and the plot is stated. You're straight into the action. Classic. Yeah. Open the film with the action, and also I think the way it flashes back, because ultimately throughout the whole film you're never in present day technically until I guess you're at the wedding.
Driving to the wedding, yeah. Like
that's the only time you catch up to present day. And I think by doing that, they allow you to know what the rest of the film's going to be about, and you kind of know what you're waiting for.
It's very good the way that even after like Bradley Cooper's character says we fucked up, and then it goes straight to an image of Doug. Like it goes straight to what Doug's up to, not what like Phil is up to. Because then it's like, okay, he's the person, because they say his name is like, right, he's the person that we're missing. So you're like trying to follow him.
Yeah.
It is really well done. It is a great start to a film.
And almost instantly as well, continuing on from the great start, because we're already at 100 miles an hour now. In comes Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
be more confident.
That wasn't too bad. In comes Big Zach.
Playing Alan Garner.
Alan Garner.
The brother-in-law to the groom.
So we see Doug, played by Justin Bartha, who isn't in very much. I did a
He's barely in this.
He is barely in this. He's not in.
He's in like National Treasure.
Yeah.
He's also as like the techie guy in that. He does very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's also in a TV show called The New Normal with Andrew Reynolds, which is quite good. About a gay couple.
Is it a rom-com?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't watch a lot of it, if I'm honest. But I just remember it came out like 10, 15 years ago. I can't remember when.
That seems like that's what he does. That's his bread and butter. Is
small cameos.
Yeah.
No, he was like the main character in that, in The New Normal. He was in a couple with Andrew Reynolds, and the show was about them too. It was good.
But yeah, anyway, he is in the fitting room with Alan. And in this scene, he makes a very good point of when the guy's fitting him for a tux that he gets very close to his shaft. Like,
how big of a cock does that kind of have?
And how close is this man's hand? He must be very, very close to the inseam. These measurements must be taken down to the millimetre.
It's like the old Friends joke when when Chandler and Joey go for a measure suit. It's like, that was definite cupping.
It as always with the returning chuckle chart, dick jokes will always make it. Chuckle chart. That's my self-realization in the first 3 episodes of this, is that dick jokes always win. It's clear that like Doug is the normal guy.
Yeah.
And you get a little inkling into Alan Garner, Zach Galifianakis' character, that he is like maybe a bit insecure. Because in that scene he's talking about, going on the stag do with the friends. He doesn't want to go. He's like, I don't have to go, but he really wants to. And it's a running theme in this film that he really just wants friends.
Yeah.
And they become known as the Wolf Pack. And, Doug is the normal one, and Alan is I don't even know, just chaos.
Yeah, he is chaos in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But he when he says in that scene, I don't have to come. It can just be you guys. 3's a crowd. 3 would be a terrible number. So Alan has to come. Not only for the plot of the movie, but just socially.
But you say that 3's a crowd and he has to go. Ultimately, the film is about 3 people.
Yeah.
Regardless.
That is very true.
That's true.
And as we know, 3 is a great number.
I like it.
People can't see my hand gestures. Well, it's 3.
We've got series 2 kind of decided, but series 3 about 3s in films.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
We are the 3 takes.
That was a good shout.
The 3 takes.
That was a good shout. But yeah, I think this scene also sets up what is going to be like a staple throughout the movie, is some great physical comedy from like all of them. Like Alan like playing with his like jockstrap underwear is quality. Like I think that just sets his character up really well, but then also just like sets you up for just some really good physical acting and physical comedy throughout the movie.
And it's worth mentioning that this is a breakout role for Zach Galifianakis. Really, I think it put him on the map, and he kind of only was on a rise after this film. And it's in this throughout the film. Most of the chuckle chart is Alan Garner, just pure stupidity.
But I think it's quite good because this film did so well, like financially and critically, and like with just the general public. Like it was a breakout role for like a lot of the. Like it was a breakout role for Bradley Cooper as well. Like he had done a few things, fairly famous things for, like Wedding Crashers. I think it was a few years before this. But yeah, this was a good breakout role for Bradley Cooper. And they steer into Bradley Cooper just being a sexy human being.
Oh, God.
Like, kind of straight away when they've woken up.
Yeah, there's lots of points in this film where you're like, okay, the wardrobe department definitely centered on Bradley Cooper a bit differently than the other characters, even though he is probably the lowest paid of the lot. As we see at the start, his first, other than the phone call, his introduction to the film is as a school teacher stealing money from his students so he can afford the trip to Vegas.
Yeah, I know that as well. It's quite good.
And then calling the kids nerds when he's getting picked up. It's like, hurry leave before any of these nerds ask me more questions.
But going back to Alan's character, I want to know why Alan has a restraining order. Why can't he be anywhere near a school or a Chuck E. Cheese?
It's never addressed. Doug doesn't ask any more information.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah, okay, that's nice, cut and dry.
But you don't. You want to know why, but you don't need to question it. You've learned so much about his character in like 30 seconds that you're like, yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
He probably is banned from going anywhere near establishments with children. And we're not saying he's a nonce.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
But given that jockstrap, maybe some public indecency, but you can only theorise.
And then we get, like I say, this film goes really quickly because then we're introduced to Bradley Cooper's character, then we're directly introduced to Ed Helms' character, Stu, straight away after that. And you get a real inkling of his life in that 4-minute scene. Really bad toxic relationship straight away.
Yeah.
And also like he's insecure about like his hair, his job and everything is quality.
Yeah, his insecurity is summed up by his profession being a dentist, and he is insecure about not being a real doctor.
Yeah.
In inverted commas. He's like not the nice guy, because like Doug is the typical kind of normal guy. So he's the uptight, preppy, nice guy, wears a jumper over his shoulders, tied up, looks very smart, and his wife Melissa is just purely in control of their entire relationship. I just was really happy seeing Ed Helms. The Office has got mentioned multiple times already, but he plays Andy Bernard in The Office. Kind of a similar character, to be honest. I don't know what his range is like outside, but it may as well have been Andy Bernard for me. And yeah, I was just really happy to see him in something else.
I really enjoyed him, but this is probably where this movie does lose a mark.
Lose a mark.
The abuse that he is suffering from like minute one to the end of the movie is horrendous. It's coming up with just, she's a bit mean to you, but she's not. She's
a terrible human being.
Yeah. And it really annoys me because that is the woman that plays Sheila Zaz in Suits.
It is, yeah, I know that as well.
But he's the chew toy. She had chewed up, spit out constantly and just absolutely bullied.
Which probably explains why he went so crazy on this stag do.
Yeah. He showed the real him.
Yeah.
And he went completely the other way of what he's been forced to live.
But yeah, once we've got all the characters together, they now set off to Vegas in the lovely Merc that they've got from Alan's father.
Yeah.
But my big question is, how are they getting all those bags in that Merc? How are they getting all the bags in the Merc?
But they're only planning to go for one night, so they don't need that much stuff.
Are they only planning I thought it was a weekend.
No, because the original plan, they say, was like they're going to go for one night and come back.
Okay.
It was only because they lost Doug did they spend another night there. But just going back to the Mert that's led into by his dad is like a really good quote to start off. Again, Jeffrey Tambor has some great lines in this film of, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Apart from herpes, that shit will come back with you.
Made chuckle chart.
Did I make the chuckle chart? Great line.
They're all very happy for Doug to cheat on their daughter/sister. Alan makes a joke about it where he's like, if you bang someone, I won't tell her. And then the dad is like, well, if you get herpes, that's fine.
He's not saying it's fine. He's saying that will come back with you, so be careful.
They're all very happy to just allow this to happen. They're like, you do you, bro.
Like,
why has no one been like, have fun, but have fun within limits?
Like
Phil Neil Warnock would say, enjoy it, but enjoy it by being disciplined.
Phil, played by Bradley Cooper, like he's fully prepared to have a weekend or a night of degeneracy. Like, he is perfectly happy to cheat on his wife. He's perfectly happy for things to go awry.
Well, just to jump ahead,
happy family with a teacher.
Just jump ahead. Like, I think all of that is just him playing up to that character. Like the character of Phil playing up to it. Because at the end of the film, you can see like real love between him and his wife and his kid as well.
I think, yeah, I just think he's happy to have a blowout.
Yeah.
Like that probably is the young him from back in the day. He's a bit angry, but he's always kind of trying to do the right thing generally throughout the movie. Jumping ahead a little bit there, but yeah, he's just angsty at all times. But yeah, early on, he seems very excited to fuck about.
Yeah, he wants this weekend away, doesn't he? He wants his night away.
He wants to embody the phrase, the word bachelor.
Yeah.
He wants strippers. He wants prostitutes. He wants drugs. He wants drink. He wants gambling.
Yeah,
he wants everything.
I don't think he wants drugs, to be fair. I don't think he really mentions that, does he?
Well, that would be jumping maybe a bit too far ahead.
But yeah, just go back like on the road trip. Why is Doug so incapable of checking his own blind spot? He almost dies because of a truck behind them.
I nearly wrote this down, and then I saw that the Merc has no wind mirrors. Why does it have no wind mirrors? I do agree he should be checking his own blind spots, but why are there no wind mirrors on this thing?
I didn't clock that they've got no wing mirrors.
Looking at apparently one of the 3 cars they used in the movie, the 1965 Mercedes 220 SE, was for sale on eBay back in December 2011, and it has wing mirrors.
Oh, so they took them off.
Maybe
they used like one of the doubles of the car that they smashed up later on in the film. But yeah, why is Doug not checking his own blind spot? Why is none of them in a car where they have the roof down, not aware that there is a truck right next to them? None of them realise there's a massive fucking truck, which I call bullshit on, just for the joke.
When they're having a great time in the car following the truck incident. I think it's now that a Truckle Chart appearance might be made where they mention that you can't wank on a plane because of 9/11.
Oh, of course it wasn't.
Did you make the Truckle Chart?
It's like the first thing on the Chuckle Chart that I haven't spelt wrong. It's frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane, and then it's just, thanks Bin Laden.
I remember when it came out, and that was just always quoted by everyone, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was so bad. It was so bad. Oh, before then, we like just to take back to Stu and his wife. That she's cheated on him.
Yeah,
that running gag is excellent,
and I love how all of them keep getting it wrong about who she fucked with. Like, it really makes the difference between like a bellhop and a bartender.
She slept with a sailor on a cruise ship, right? Bartender.
I love that he really makes he really cares about the distinction.
Not a bellhop. Like, arguably, a bellhop is like, it's almost like he wants to find a happy medium because he doesn't want the man to be like a ship captain. And he doesn't want them to be a bellhop. Bartender's in the middle of this, where he's like, yeah, that's fine, I can understand. But then these made the Chuckle Chart. It's like, he didn't even come inside her.
Yeah, that's
and she's grossed out by semen.
And then Bradley Cooper's reaction of, and you believed her?
Oh, that's so bad.
But here's a question, because he's like, she doesn't, semen grosses her out. What does he do when they have sex?
Doesn't put his semen near her.
So what, does he pull out and then fuck off on the other side of the room?
Finishes himself off. I'd argue that he's never allowed to come until she's out of the room.
Do you think?
No, that girl's a ball buster.
She isn't. That's the problem.
Like, yeah, he has to go out of the room. She's allowed to finish. Which, you know, that's flipping gender roles. I can respect it.
Then they arrive in Vegas at the hotel, and it's yet another instance of when they go to check in, Stu gives his name, and Phil takes issue again with, why are you calling yourself a doctor? You're a dentist. Dentists are doctors. Dentists are doctors. If I had mouth problems, I wouldn't want a cardiac surgeon in my mouth.
to go from that.
All I know is I was chuckling at like, this isn't the real Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
No, not the real Caesar's Palace.
I also really enjoyed the fact that like they were like, it's $4,200 for a night. And I was like, no way do I have $4,200 for a night anywhere. And I looked up online how much a night in a villa would be at Caesar's Palace online. And here's how expensive they are. They don't even tell you how much they are on the website. You have to call up and inquire.
Did
like,
you?
Really?
No.
Wow.
I'm not spending the money to call to bloody Vegas.
Should have called.
How much? It doesn't tell you on the website. You have to get one yourself.
Yeah. You have to like.
I imagine your people have to get one.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're staying one night there, you have people.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Right. So apparently there's there's quite a big price range, and I read it incorrectly first, and I was like, it's cheaper now, $3,000 to $3,500. No, there is an extra zero. It's $3,000 to $35,000 for a villa for a night in Caesar's Palace. There's also the garden, a room looking over the Garden of the Gods, Caesar's Palace's pool playground, and that is $30,000 to $40,000 a night.
Right, boys. 3 Takes Stupidity trip. It's only
These are
£10
both
each.
outdated. That first $3,000 to $3,500 is $35,000 is 2019, and the $40,000 is 2014. So given inflation,
Wait, 2014 it was 40,000,
2014 there's a room that is 30 to 40,000. Yeah,
and then
a single room. There's multiple villas in the hotel that range between $3,000 and $35,000.
also it's not out of the question that they can afford this.
They could afford one. Yeah.
They say it's $4,200 for a night, but only Stu can afford it. Like he's like,
yeah.
Do you know what's
He's a
also
private
really
dentist.
interesting? Yeah, he's a private dentist. Do you know what's also really interesting? What does Doug do?
Don't know, but Doug is marrying into a rich family with their own little
Mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really interested in what Doug does, because I just realised it's never mentioned.
Does it matter?
Alan
interested.
does nothing. Phil's a teacher.
Stu's
a dentist. But Doug is just incredibly forgettable. I mean, it's the whole plot of the movie is Doug is incredibly forgettable. You're meant to forget about him along with the other characters.
But then this is where the film really gets going, and they discuss that, like, they go up to the room and they discuss that, again, the fact that Melissa's cheated on Stu comes up when Stu says he's going to get engaged. And it's really funny, this sort of bit of, like, one friend's going to be really happy for you, but you can see that Doug is saying it through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm really happy for you. But inside he's thinking, I hate her too, just as much as Phil does.
Yeah.
Phil's the only one with bollocks to say it to his face that I fucking hate her.
Phil's really like actually looking out for his friend.
Yeah.
Maybe being a bit too brazen with it. And Doug is kind of doing a disservice for maybe not saying something because, toxic relationships are not a good thing. But it's the whole, especially the like, I hate to use this word because it's a bit naff, but the duality of Phil is that, he wants this braggadocious weekend. However, he's also, he's a teacher. He's on the right kind of path, isn't he? He's a good guy, really, and he's very handsome.
I feel like the very handsome bit is the top of your list there.
I was shocked.
I take issue with this whole bit, so I'm just going to blast through this and we can unpack at the end.
Okay,
go on.
So, Stu starts on the phone to his wife. The first thing he says to her is, "This is great. There's no TVs or phones." How the fuck is he on the phone to her then? That's the first one.
I think he means probably landlines then.
Yeah,
possibly.
Like she can't call the hotel, and he's trying to convince her not to call the hotel.
Okay, good point. That one squashed instantly. Secondly, proposed at someone else's wedding. Yay or nay, quickly?
Nay.
100%.
I can't
Two
believe
nays
Doug
here.
didn't say something that annoyed me so much. And I was like, Stu, what are you doing?
He's very happy about it though. He's like, yes, but no one else questions it. If it was me and I was in that room, I would have been like,
Don't do that at my wedding.
He does
Yeah,
say
I would
after
hate
the
that.
ceremony. He's like, I'm going to do it obviously after the ceremony. It's like,
What, at the reception?
right, yeah.
Don't ruin the reception with your plans.
Don't ruin the reception with your love. Don't bring your love to my love.
It's my love, not
Yeah,
your
but
love.
arguably they stopped the reception for a better bit of drama.
Yeah.
Whoa. Spoilers.
But yeah, there's that one. Then there's the ring that he presents. This is always referred to as the Holocaust ring. Always. It's never just referred to as his grandmother's ring. It's always referred to as the Holocaust ring.
Yeah, it's his grandmother's Holocaust ring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
but-
got through the Holocaust with it.
He-
How?
he-
I don't have it.
He holds it up to them and says, "This is my grandma's Holocaust ring. It's legit."
How did she get it through the Holocaust?
Hiding it.
Doesn't matter. It's always referred to as that. But it's the way he says it's legit. Like what? So it's all wedding rings have to go through that now. When he's on the phone to his level of abuse is astronomical. Like the amount of shit that he's getting every time he speaks to her, it's just more and more abuse, and it's going up in levels. Which tells me that when they first met, it was just nice. It was nice, no abuse, and it's just started to go up quite a lot recently.
Isn't that how many toxic relationships started anyway?
No, because it sounds like they've been together for years, but it seems to be getting much worse.
3 years to be exact.
Oh,
To go 3 years. Yeah, I have down here, never propose at a wedding. So after this, they get ready to go out. And then on the Bradley Cooper thing, my first thing is, of course, Bradley Cooper gets the hot black suit.
I'm really intrigued at how they chose to dress all of them, because why is Stu wearing like a polo and a jacket, and then Zach Galifianakis is wearing just a t-shirt and a satchel,
jeans.
He's not wearing a satchel.
Yeah,
he's wearing a purse.
No, he's wearing a
satchel.
He's wearing a purse. Wearing his man purse.
But I do like the bit where he comes into the room and he just goes, "Are you guys ready to let the dogs out?"
It's worth knowing, up to this point, we've had a few absolutely excellent bangers. Wait Till I Get My Money Right, Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West. We'd sing it, but, we hope to one day make some money. That'll be a copyright claim. I think we get 6 seconds, so wait till I get my money right. Done. T.I. Live Your Life, featuring Rihanna. Excellent song. And then following this, Usher. Yeah. Don't really have the Usher bit. I think it's the ludicrous rap, but still an excellent choice of song section. And then, to be honest, beyond that, I don't remember there being much other like rap music in the film. I feel like it was just moving so fast.
Is that because like you only think of music as rap music? If it's any other type of music, you're like, it's not music.
I'm listening to a lot of R&B soul music at the moment. Thank you very much.
No, I wrote down that this film does have a really great soundtrack as well. I noticed that. It is phenomenal.
It's different from the other two films, and it didn't come out that much time after Hot Tub Time Machine.
No, it came out
before. It predates both of them.
Yeah.
Predates both? I think so. I think, When's Wild Hogs? 2007.
Yeah, I think this one's in the middle.
All right,
it's 2010, isn't it?
No, this is 08.
2000.
Is that 08?
08 or 09. Oh, no, sorry, 09. Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I mean, this has taken real like popular songs at the time for sure. Whereas I think Hot Tub Time Machine was
more the 80s
because back in time, true. Except for Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, exactly.
And Wild Hogs was very much dad rock.
It was, yeah.
But still, that was a good soundtrack.
It was a great soundtrack. A lot of AC/DC.
Yeah. Again, like it's had a great opening to a movie. I also think it has one of the, like, if you guys could imagine what your stag do would be like, I think this does have a great opening to a stag do.
Yeah.
You're on a rooftop in Vegas having shots with your mates, and like just the view that you have of all of it, I think would be a fucking great way to start your stag do. Would it not?
Mm-hmm.
It would. I think we get some little bits of foreshadowing here as well. One with there's no way Alan's just giving them Jaeger. No way. And turns out it wasn't. And the door. I just was even before knowing how the film ends, I was like, why are we being shown that a door locks?
Yeah.
Why have we been shown that? And so there's a key point of foreshadowing for later in the film. And if you're eagle-eyed enough, you can kind of work out exactly what happens early on.
I never put that together, but I did notice that they propped the door open.
Yeah.
But which I was like, oh, that's cool. They thought of that, but now you say it, and it all comes together.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get onto it at the end, but I have a massive, like, in the whole thing of like where this film ends up, I'm like, no way would it have taken 48 hours to work out where Doug was.
They were, as we find out very quickly, that they were heavily drugged and forgot everything. I've seen you blackout drunk, Chandler.
Thank you, James. Thank you for telling that to the listeners.
You couldn't remember anything the day before.
But yeah, they all stand on the roof drinking Jaeger. I wouldn't drink the Jaeger or throw the Jaeger off the roof. But still.
What's wrong with Jaeger?
It's disgusting.
Alex
it tastes like California.
Alex is...
but it does have
loads of flavours.
But going back to the foreshadowing, it does have a really... The line that starts this all off to like, we're going to miss the whole night, is when Bradley Cooper just goes, here's like the toast is really good. It's like, here's to a night that none of us will ever forget.
Yeah.
And that's it. They've all fucking forgotten 5 minutes later.
Yeah, the Wolfpack speech by Alan, though, was really heartfelt and it was fantastic until the knife.
And looking for strippers and cocaine.
This speech of that is just hilarious.
Yeah.
It is so well delivered. It is right on point to what it needs to be in that moment. It is, and I'm not gonna lie, when this film comes out 2009, I'm in like year 9 or year 10 or whatever, and it led to my group of school friends, and I think as many friends
having strippers and cocaine.
I wish.
At school.
I wish. No, cool. Like a lot of friend groups, I think, and ours still to this day do refer to ourselves as the Wolf Pack, which is A, incredibly sad, but B, just always a little bit of a smile for us anyway.
I was leaning towards A instantly.
Yeah, I'm cringing really hard now.
Yeah.
This is why we need a video podcast as well. Oh, wow.
And then we see the night, the big montage. I know you're a fan of montages.
I do like a good
You do like
montage.
a montage.
Gonna need a montage.
We make it to the morning. The whole morning bit is done so well. So well.
Hints to what comes before, what comes after.
Fantastic.
Before. It came before, but what we find out after.
The best bit is when you like, there's a weird shot that they only use for like 10 seconds of like the like full on camera shot of Ed Helms, like where he's like stumbling about till he sits on the couch, which they only use for 10 seconds, which is a bit weird. But anyway, and you see that his tooth is missing, which is great because did you know that Ed Helms actually already misses that tooth and he wears a fake prosthetic?
Oh, really?
So actually during the film, it's not like effect, it's him just taking his fake one out.
I did not know that.
Didn't know that either.
Do you reckon that's how he got the part? He just sat in the audition. They went, "You look fairly normal. Would you mind losing a tooth?" And he was like, "What, like this?" And we do that. And they're like, "Oh my god!"
We see a woman walks out the room, which is leading us to think, "Oh no, who's slept with someone who's cheated on their partner?" Hopefully, it was Alan. Hopefully, Alan did it. But we later find out that is Jade, who plays a pretty key role in the film later on. And then they're all waking up, can't find Doug, and that's what leads us to a random baby and a tiger.
Just talk about the baby quickly. You know how we were saying about, like, you were saying that Phil, like, he's a teacher, he has his like life fairly screwed on. He is the one who adamantly just goes, let's leave the baby there. Like he is like, it's
you
not
have a
out.
son at home.
Yeah, exactly. He is the one with the son at home, and he's the one who like just fucking leave the baby in the closet.
She's like, we can't leave the baby.
But that tells me that he has left the baby before, and it went well. He's got prior to baby leaving. Once we have the baby, we get the tiger in the bathroom. The tiger reveal is outstanding.
It is very good. And I do like Zach.
So good.
Zach Galifianakis' reaction is like, what? There's a jungle cat in the bathroom.
It's phenomenal.
Oh, it is really good.
And then to get Bradley Cooper to go deal with the tiger.
He's like, I'm sure it's not there. Holy shit, there's a tiger in the bathroom.
And he greets it with a laugh as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what we like.
It's like it sounds like he's done something similar beforehand.
He's left babies, he's captured tigers. He's done it all.
This bit is where I think Bradley Cooper's sexiest bit is, where he's like putting his shirt on and he's like sort of half leaning back and you're like, yeah, you are a sexy person.
It's a specimen. It is a specimen in this film.
We need to be called the Bradley Cooper Appreciation Society, I think.
Next
Three takes of Bradley Cooper.
3 takes of Bradley Cooper.
But this whole, I think this again, it is a testament to the writing of how good, like, they find the baby and they're like, right, we just need to go find Doug. And they go, and they just, it's so quick in the way of like, right, let's try and figure out what happened last night. And they just go, fuck it, we can't remember shit.
Two pockets.
Yeah.
Have a receipt to
Bellagio
at $800. They've got
how much money does he have in his account? Just a $4,200 on the night, $800 at Bellagio, like
credit. Amex. And
sorry, how did you say that? Thank you very much, there, James. Amex.
Go and put it on my Amex.
Brighton Hove Albion Stadium, but Amex.
Why do you say some words like like Meta from Cars?
I'm panicking. And they have a valet for the car.
Yeah.
So that's, and they had something else as well, didn't they?
Here's a question for the chuckle chart. Did Alan making Carlos wank himself off make the chuckle chart?
Great baby name.
It is a good baby name.
It didn't, but it could have.
It made my chuckle chart.
Did it really?
It did. I've seen this film quite a few times and I love that bit every single time.
My reaction was very much Stu's reaction when he comes back, where the baby is doing it again, and it's just a blank look, and he can't believe what is going on, how it's happened to him. He just wants to go home. And this is at the start.
So there, and then they find that, and then Phil somehow realizes that he's wearing a hospital band, which again, I call bullshit, because you wake up topless to put a shirt on. At no point, you must realize you're wearing something. You're wearing it then, not downstairs and someone points it out to you.
I don't know. You could.
Is it on him the whole time? I didn't go back.
I didn't go back and check. Actually.
Oh, I wish I had done.
My friend once woke up quite hungover with, those old like club wristbands you used to get at uni, and he woke up hungover, it was still on his wrist, and he was like, "Oh, this is annoying me." Got a knife from his room. And then just went try to cut it off in one fell motion.
No. I don't like this. What do you do?
But he had the knife. He had the knife the wrong way around. So the sharp bit pointing towards his wrist. So it looked like he just cut his wrist.
Oh my God!
And his roommate woke up and was like, just saw the blood and just went, "You need to go to hospital."
Jesus! No, that's horrendous.
But that's when they get the car. And they go downstairs to get the valet, and a police car shows up.
Did you guys notice that in the background of this shot there was two people arguing? And I looked up why these extras were arguing. Apparently, they are hotel staff arguing about the filming of the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
There are people arguing.
There's people arguing about the fact that they're filming at this bit.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
There's a little Easter egg for people.
They're probably annoyed that the hotel's making money off filming and they're not going to get to see any of it in their Christmas bonus.
I imagine they're annoyed because they're in the middle of their workday and people are using their workstation to film a stupid police car.
Could you imagine though? You put your valet in and someone gives you a police car and you're just like, all right, we're just going to go with it. Like, what the fuck would you do? Like, genuinely, what would you do if a police car showed up instead of yours?
I think it was Phil was quite excited by the police car. I was like, fuck it, let's go.
You just want to run the sirens.
Yeah. And he's like, and then they decide to go to the hospital at this point.
It is very good the way they're like, they trace back their steps. They're like, right, hospital band, that's like a proper, this is what we did. Like, let's go find that out. And then when they get to the hospital, I love the doctor. The doctor is brilliant.
A bit worried at the state of that hospital's care on staff, because he's just worked the whole night. They woke up and he's still there.
He might have been like 1 till 1.
Yeah, 12-hour shifts.
12 till 12.
That is the state of the American healthcare system.
Good.
There you
good,
go,
Alex. Thank you.
That's what I'm helping you out there with.
You. Yeah. I'm just worried about working conditions.
I mean, worried about his working conditions. He held a man's balls.
He's a doctor.
No, but if I had to hold multiple balls,
so yeah, they see him while he's looking after a rather old man, and I did just laugh at Alan just staring intently at this old man's butt. Looks like he's seen the end of the universe.
Very quickly, another cameo. Have you guys ever seen the film I Love You, Man?
Yeah,
he's the old fella is the old guy who also is one of his ushers at the wedding.
I thought it was just a random guy.
Yeah. Well, he's an actor, isn't he? So he'll pop up as other old characters.
He's going to act in other things.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the doctor goes from being helpful to very unhelpful real fast.
His line of, he says, "You've just come from a wedding. It was at this chapel." And they're like, "Oh, great. Where is it?" He just goes, "It's at the corner of get a map and fuck off." Quality. It is fucking great.
I'm not your tour guide.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have used that line to people. Just like, go use Google Maps. Like, everyone has it now. Or Lugal.
He couldn't have been helpful.
Lugal, like throwback. Love it. Nice.
Did you say Lugal?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking God.
Call back to Hot Time Machine.
This is a series. We called back to Wild Hogs loads when we listened to Hot Time Machine. This was all planned. More of those, Chandler.
But yeah, they get directions to the chapel. And when they get to the chapel, the minister brings a real My Big Fat Greek Wedding energy to the whole scene.
Of like, they're just like being friends after like a few hours of meeting.
And he's like, "Oh my God, it's you," giving everyone hugs, giving Bradley Cooper hugs.
How fucked up were they that they've just made best friends? But the other thing, they pull out a photo album, and again, no way has that fucking photo album been printed in like the space of like 8 hours.
Why not?
Like, it's a full-on like card printed photo
Oh,
album.
yeah.
Bullshit. That has all been printed. And then he comes up and he goes like, you got the high roller package, and there's like mugs and t-shirts and caps. Bullshit. That's all been made in 8 hours.
The merch is 10 out of 10. Could not hope for better merch.
Would you get merch at your own wedding?
Yes.
Maybe now.
Yeah. I've been sold.
Oh, and hats.
It's the hats, it's the mugs, it's the calendar. The calendar made up from pictures in the photo album.
I also love this guy's business because Phil asked him, do you do annulments? And he goes, yeah, of course, but it breaks my heart. Bullshit. Bullshit breaks your heart. You make more money off these fuckers.
And did you guys recognize him?
Yeah, he has a part in How I Met Your Mother. He's the guy in How I Met Your Mother who keeps going, steak sauce, A1.
He's not actually, I don't know where he's from, Greek, I'm going to say.
No, he's an American stand-up. He's an American stand-up comedian, actor, and podcaster.
Oh, I do feel like I have seen him.
He's a podcaster.
Yeah.
Let's get him on.
Yeah.
Let's get him on.
When we're big and famous and we can do a recap of our first series. I recognize him as the coach in The Goldbergs.
Yes.
But yeah, How I Met Your Mother everyone's in CSI. Yeah, I found him quite funny. Quite funny. And then they shot Eddie. I love how we never hear if he's okay. They shot him and then no one ever goes and checks. It was in the shoulder. It's fine.
He gets shot up defending his business from some sort of cartel that have turned up.
I feel like they missed a trick there because it seems like generally these guys annoyed but also made friends with everyone. Like they kind of met in a way. And Eddie seemed to actually like the friend. And I kind of wish Eddie came out not just protecting his business, but trying to protect them.
But he comes out with a baseball bat with two guys. He's literally brought a baseball bat to a gunfight.
Yeah. He could do some like ninja deflections with his baseball bat. But no, I don't think so.
I don't think he's a Jedi master with a baseball bat.
Yeah, no. Definitely
But I
not.
just love the way he talks. Like when he's like talking about Jade, about Heather Graham, who we find out. He's like, she's got tits like this. But that's because she had a baby.
But it's
They're like, that's where the baby came from.
Yes.
Heather Graham is here. We see them head over to Heather Graham, Jade, the flat, and she's on the phone.
Sorry. The flat.
Flat. She's on the phone about her baby. She's like, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it's gone. And then she sees him and she's like, oh, there it is. It's with his dad. How in the space of like, they haven't known her for more than 10 hours.
She's married.
I know they're married, but to then go straight into baby dad, and to be fair, marriage, baby dad seems like the whole
situation.
He's legally that kid's guardian. He's legally that kid's stepdad.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Don't nitpick.
This is what we fucking do.
Yeah.
Is this why you give us an explanation of American marriage law?
I fucking
But
wish.
so you find out his name's Tyler. And it's like, don't worry. I thought he looked like a Carlos too.
I wrote that down. Carlos is a much better baby name, but that's why we're not allowed to name babies. That's why it's a team decision.
I also like the whole scene where they're just sat on the couch and Heather Graham's breastfeeding Tyler. Not because they're breastfeeding, but like the whole like conversation. And then it's when Stu realizes like, oh my God, she's wearing the Holocaust ring. and then an improv line from Zach Galifianakis, and he just goes, I didn't know they gave out rings at the Holocaust. That wasn't the original joke. He came up with that on the spot, and that's why Bradley Cooper's reaction is so. It's like, what the fuck did you just say?
I did when the breastfeeding. I did just sort of thought of Alex. I thought of Alex because
why do you think Alex gets breastfed still?
Do you think I breastfeed people?
Yeah. So no, it was just in a throwback to our Hot Tub Time Machine episode where you were titty spotting.
Oh, the boob count.
The boob count.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe we'll get another boob count, but I think boob count was 1 until right at the end of the movie where you could have been like scratching down on the tally chart over and over again.
But it's really good because going back to the dentist meet doctor thing, as soon as like Jade says something like, oh yeah, it's fine now. I don't need to be a stripper or a escort.
Yeah.
Like I'm married to a doctor. And he just goes, well, I'm a dentist. Heather Graham's reaction is brilliant. It's like, oh, shit.
He's a private dentist.
Like she's called round all her clients this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
no can do, buddy.
But him finding out, like, obviously he was told, like, no strippers for this. Like, Melissa would have been fuming about strippers. And then he's gone and married one. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm a stripper. But actually, I'm an escort. Being a stripper is a great way to meet new clients.
Savvy.
Business
Savvy.
Yeah. She's the Alan Sugar.
Alan Sugar.
Strippers to escorting. The
And
Alan
then-
Sugar of prostitutes. Incredible.
I don't think he's going to listen.
Prostitutes in her spare time or selling car aerials on the back of her boot or whatever. Fucking hell. Oh, I love it. Oh my
They're
God.
in the flat for a while. And then, of course, the magical moment. Rob Riggle has arrived.
You really enjoying these?
I
cameos?
love Heather Graham. And then Rob Riggle comes in, which is a fun name to say anyway. Him and his police partner arrive on the scene.
And I love him just shouting, shut that baby up, shut that baby up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I was when let Alex get his little laugh out, he's very happy. On the way to Heather Graham's, to Jade's, I had written down, where are the real police? Because they were in that cop car for a long time. They'd gone a lot of places and not once did they like come across a real policeman. So I was like, okay, cool. The police have shown up now.
You were happy that we got closure.
I was happy that I found out this film did tie up its loose ends quite, and its little plot holes that appeared quite well. And that was one of them. I was like, where are the actual police?
The whole bit of them in the police station is great. And the bit, because it opens up in the police station where Phil is calling Doug's fiance. And it's like, oh, why is Doug not calling me? It's like, oh yeah, we made a promise, like, can't speak to wives or girlfriends, so we're all calling around each other's. Why do the other wives and girlfriends not get fussed when they don't get a phone call from the others?
I don't.
Surely that's the first bit where they go alarm bells and go, why the fuck
they're
are they
not.
not
But they're
calling
not
us?
with her.
Yeah.
They're not with the girls, so you can assume that like the girls aren't friends as well. This is a group of guy friends. Like Phil's wife is not with Doug's future wife,
I don't know.
That's true.
and Melissa's not hanging out with him because I imagine everyone hates her. She's awful. So yeah, if they don't know that, and if the girls aren't
True.
talking necessarily,
Yeah, true. Bullshit.
we go on a stag do, and our girlfriends don't know each other.
Whose stag do are we going on?
I know yours.
Are you getting married?
No.
Oh my God. 3 takes reveal.
Charlie's getting married.
It's an exclusive. Congratulations, Charlie.
Charlotte, congratulations.
So they're at the police station. They're having all their calls. This is where Zach Galifianakis' character Alan first meets the younger Chandler. Which do you not see? Do you not
Is
see?
that what
His arch nemesis.
Yeah.
His absolute arch nemesis is baby Chandler.
You tried to take the picture with the phone.
Can we make 3 takes plushies and one of them's that kid? I want.
That was
I don't know whether to be complimented or fucking offended.
I'd be offended.
have you ever been blonde?
Can we make 3 takes?
I'm glad that little kid wins in the end now.
Can we make a three takes plushies for our merch store? And
What,
one of
makes
them's just
me
that
blonde?
It's that little kid, but it just says baby Chandler.
I'm glad he wins.
Spoilers.
But then they have the big meeting with the kid, and then they go into interrogation with Rob Riggle and his co-police counterpart.
But why does the kid become Alan's nemesis?
He kicks his phone out.
Because the kid wants to take a picture of him, and then Alan just boots his Motorola Razor across the police station.
That does date this film. The phones they use
Motorola
do
Razor.
date this film of like just pre-iPhones being everywhere.
Yeah, I think in 2009 I had like a Windows phone.
Everyone had a Windows phone. It's like all over the
I
place.
do remember it was like early iPhone adopters, and I was sat with a Windows phone thing like, yeah, me. And then it was so bad. After the phone incident, they are taken to be interrogated.
Where there's a beautiful interaction between Rob Riggle and his co-police officer, Cleo King, whose character's name actually escapes me. But it's outstanding, the interrogation. Their chemistry, where they're just screaming, not today, not today,
Not up in here.
not up in here.
Get up in here.
That's the one American accent we're allowed.
I feel like it's the one we really aren't.
I was doing Rob Riggle.
Yeah, I don't know who you would do.
Yeah.
I did what Chandler did.
Not up in here.
Yeah,
Not up in
It's the
here.
one I think is a little bit ropey.
And then, of course, they come to the agreement. They're very happy with the agreement. They didn't even read it. And also, they have a list of things that they can make people do to get them out of crimes. Because when Rob Riggle is handed a list of things and she points to the thing that they can do,
Yeah.
she's like,
That one.
and he's like, oh, yeah. What are the other things they could have done?
No idea.
But anyway, the thing that's going to happen to them is they're all going to be tasered.
It is very good. Like, the thing that I quote a lot of the time is, in the face! And another one of my favourite jokes in this bit is when Rob Riggle, like, gestures to Bradley Cooper to come over. Is like, you come over here, like, cutie or
boy.
something. Pretty boy, that's it, thank you.
Pretty boy.
And he goes, not you, slide on back, fat Jesus.
Yeah. And
That made me, that
So-
tickled me.
Phil gets tased in the dick. Probably his most prized asset as Bradley Cooper. Stu get tased?
He's like the run of the neck, basically.
right in the neck, yeah. And then Alan turns into like they get the kids, little Chandler.
Fuck off. In the face.
His nemesis. Alan's nemesis, and the kids trying to take him down, and Alan's just there like a zombie that's been stung. He's like, he will not go down. Never seen so much fear in little Chandler's face.
Fuck off.
We'll put Chandler making a fearful face on the TikTok. Follow us at 3 Takes of Stupidity. But it has to have he's tased right in the face. It has to be tased again just to go down.
It's the way that he's moving forward.
Yeah, slowly. He's moving forward slowly, taking a stomp and a stomp and a stomp. The kid's face is more and more fearful every time.
Rob Riggle steps in to save the day.
Saves the child, saves little Chandler so he can do a podcast 20 years later.
Anyway.
Alex had to have a lie down.
I like the bit afterwards where Stu's just like, fuck that shit. We're going to tell everyone we stole a cop car.
Yeah.
He's just like, he can't tase people. He's like, no, we definitely stole a cop car. And they get the Merc back, right? Bollocks, it's still in that good shape. They left it in the middle of the street with $4 in change. And they're like, fuck, no one's wrecked that car.
No, I think it's like a drunk dad at a wedding having to look after his like 3-year-old toddler. They are all over the place. They're dancing all over the place, but they are going to look after their 3-year-old toddler. They won't drop them. Their body has become a gyroscope. That kid's not going to hit the ground if it's like nothing's happening to that child. The car was their child. So they knew only one person was allowed to drive it. Nothing was going to happen to that car.
They were all
night.
fucked. They were all pissed.
Yeah,
of course they fucking crashed that car.
And Phil was a designated drunk driver.
Yeah.
He was so good at it. Also, American roads are a whole city-wide here.
Yeah, that's true.
That is another thing that is brought up, not addressed. Not like, they're like, he's the designated drunk driver. They're like, yeah, we know.
He's done it before.
This discussion has been had.
We are not just to be clear, don't drink drive.
No,
Don't drink drive. But in this film, they have a designated drunk driver. Yeah, the car was their baby for the evening.
and then once they've got the car back, it's not a fantastic moment in coming here. Ken Jeong is here. He's in the boot.
That's a trunk for our American listeners.
Brilliant.
Hello to our listeners in America. It's just his big reveal from. I love that every time something happens, they're like, "It's Doug.
Yeah.
It's Doug. It's got to be Doug.
Doug's in the trunk.
Yeah, like everything that's happened now has been on a straight line and there's been no turns. They're just like, it has to be Doug. Doug has to be in the trunk.
It is really good when Ken Jeong jumps out of the boot, and being naked was Ken Jeong's choice. That he said it would be funnier if he was naked.
Is that why we see his dick? It's his choice that we see his dick.
I think so, yeah. And he's just beating on them. But a very, very case of casual racism is like, I hate Godzilla. I hate him too.
That made me
I hate him too.
And just to throw back, we were hinted of his appearance that there would be a small man coming because they found size 6 boots in the car.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, from Throwback, which I was like, they're Leslie Chow's boots.
Whose condom was it? They throw.
Oh yeah, it's never addressed.
It's never addressed whose condom it actually was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know what we can check.
I'm really wondering where you're going with this, James.
The pre-credit scene.
The pre-credit scene?
Yes, it's pre-credits or the credit scene.
What is there a picture of the condom in that?
There must be. It's got to be, or something in the car, maybe.
No, I remember. Look, I've noted down the photos that we'll get on.
Have you? Oh my God,
yeah.
I'm so proud.
I don't remember one in the car, to be honest. I remember there's a shot of them at the end with the car, leaving it on Las Vegas Boulevard. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Well made.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Ken Jeong jumps out the boot. Where did he get his crowbar from?
In the boot.
Who threw him in there with a crowbar?
They're probably like, get out.
Is it a crowbar or is it like a tire?
It's a crowbar.
Is it a crowbar?
Yeah.
It's not a tire
You
or
say-
something.
For a northerner, you say that very properly. It's a crowbar.
It's a crowbar.
Crowbar.
It's a crowbar.
A crowbar.
Sounds like
Darling,
you're sounds like you're saying,
crowbar.
Get
There
the
you go.
crowbar.
A crowbar. A crowbar.
Get the crowbar.
Who threw him in there with a crowbar? There you go. That's better for you.
no, that's fucking Geordie.
It's the same thing.
But Kim Jong just runs off, right?
Yeah, he just fucks off naked
Jong.
with socks on.
Yeah. And we don't really know what he is, who he is. He just
Yeah, it's just
goes away.
But then this is the low point in the film where Alan admits that he roofied them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he cracks under no pressure. He's
Under no pressure, they've gone through a whole day of like fuck.
I know,
He
he genuinely didn't think he did. He thought he got the ecstasy.
Yeah. But and again, he's all drugging your mates on a stag do.
Yeah,
Not great.
He tells them that he drugs them, and then on the drive back, for some reason, Stu launches into an attack on Heather Graham, Jade.
What, like she's a whore?
He calls her a whore. Very insulting.
She's
She's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I married a whore. How dare you? She's a nice lady. She is a nice lady. She's key in this film.
She is key. She's fantastic. It's Heather Graham. Outstanding.
I really laughed at the point where he's like arguing with Alan and he just opens a door in his head and then he's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Is that bit out? Is that meant to happen?
I don't know actually.
I thought you would know that.
Oh yeah, that sounds something I would know.
Yeah.
But then this gets to the bit where they're like, they get the hotel room, like, all this time they've gone through the hospital, the wedding chapel, the police station, getting beaten up by Leslie Chow, and then they go, fuck, there's still a tiger.
Yeah.
And this is when we get a cinematic masterpiece because Mike Tyson is here.
Remind me how Mike Tyson enters again because it's blanked from me.
Effectively,
When they get in there and In the Air Tonight is playing,
Yes.
and then Mike Tyson's just like,
they
shut
go-
up, I like this, I love this part, and then just decks fucking Alan to the floor, which, by the way, he'd be fucking dead. He would not be alive. If you get punched without expecting it in the face by Mike Tyson, you're dead.
Mike Tyson is the Tiger King. This is
What, he is the original Tiger
it's
King.
totally glossed over. He's like, that's my tiger. He is Tiger King.
Speaking of Mike
But it comes to the thing, it's like, they're like, we're not going to get the tiger back. You have to get it back to us, which is fair enough.
Yeah,
like,
they
they've
took the
stolen
tiger.
it.
It's outstanding the way they go about it though, because they order a steak. How do you even go about ordering a raw steak from like? How is no one in the kitchen at the hotel being like,
That's
raw?
fucking weird.
I want it raw.
Yeah, how do you want it?
I want it
Blue.
raw.
By the way, very quickly.
More blue. More blue. Breathing.
Breathe it.
Literally just killed.
I'm more, and I was a bit stunned that like he has roofies left and a lot of them. So how much ecstasy was he planning to do over the weekend or over the night?
It's the way that he peppers the steak and then goes, they hate cinnamon.
They love.
How do you know this?
They love pepper. They hit cinnamon.
It's just unexplained how he's learned these things about tigers.
And then we get a lovely. They had to do it. They had to have it in the film. But Ed Helms with a little musical number.
Yeah, that is improvised again.
Really?
Yeah, that he wrote that on set, basically.
That was incredible.
Yeah. He wrote that on set, and it is brilliant. I sing that all the time.
Dougie, something like that.
Doug. But if he's been murdered by crystal meth tweakers, then we're shit out of luck.
Like if you,
Is that copyright? Do I have to cut that out?
I don't
for
know.
the
I
record?
think it might be okay. Count the seconds.
It's probably because of my terrible singing.
But like he has a lot of musical numbers in The Office, and it's a whole big part of his character. He's an absolute musical theatre nut. So it's clearly a
carryover.
Yeah, well, I think it's more just like Ed Helms is clearly skilled, and I imagine, and I'm just going to do a little fact check. Surely he's done some Broadway,
Possibly.
but his singing voice is quite jokey though.
But I love when he's doing the music that there's just a chicken on the piano. And this is where it occurred to me, why not feed the tiger the chicken?
Oh yeah.
Why order a steak?
Also,
Why
where
not just
did they
give
get
the-
the
Yeah, but how are they going to roofie the tiger? What are they going to do?
Put the roofies in the chicken.
Are they going to roofie the chicken?
Yeah.
And then feed the roofied chicken to the tiger.
Well, no, just give the tiger the chicken. So now there's a bit of, it's had its like little bit of sport. It's got to kill the chicken. And they've got rid of the chicken.
But here's a very quick idea. Are they going to pepper the chicken?
No, cinnamon the chicken. And then we know if his theory is correct.
But the whole bit of him, of them now taking the tiger to Mike Tyson's is funny, but it is like in real life, they die. They die straight away. No way there's 3 people driving a tiger in a fucking tiny Mercedes survive.
It was roofied though. Like you're
But
not
then
going
it
to wake
wakes
up very
up and then
fast.
scratches Bradley Cooper. It is killing Bradley fucking Cooper.
The puppet tiger in the back. It's just like, let's not be around the bush. The puppet tiger is a bit terrible.
I think they ran out of money.
Yeah, I think there was no CGI budget. They didn't actually want to do the scene with the tiger.
The tiger destroys the car. It destroys the car. And
Destroys the insides of the car. It destroys the inside of the car. It does not destroy the outside.
It's like, I got a great person to interior person, but a part of that scene which seemed to Wild Hogs crack me up, like the bull opening the gate with the shit puppet. Just the car, he's destroyed the car inside, and then just a punch of the window. It was hilarious.
And then they're driving the car into the thing, and Alan's got his hand in the window. It's totally understandable that Alan does not want to have his hand inside the car with the tiger.
But I really love Stu's little pep talk, like, you can do it, buddy. Where it feels like, get your fucking hand back in there.
And then they get to Mike Tyson's house, and Mike Tyson explains to them that he has a clip of last night for them to see what they did. And there's yet another moment where they see a video clip or something. Doug is there, and they're like, Doug's alive, Doug's safe. Why do they keep assuming that he's safe? Because they've seen him in more recent videos.
Yeah, he could have died between 3 and 5 a.m. and that's what we're led to believe the time frame is
It takes
here.
a second for him to die, but they're like, he's safe, he's there,
He's alive.
This is good. This is great news. It's not great news. It just means that you've got another bit of the puzzle.
Yeah. But at least it proves that he's alive up until certain points, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. They can trace when he died.
But then the bit, you're right, then they're driving in the car and Alan's really worried about the damage to the car. He's like, no, my dad loves this car more than me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a great guy with interiors, and immediately, boom, crashes. Someone crashes into them, destroys the whole of the car.
Yeah.
The car is now fucked.
The side swipe is outstanding. And once they've left Mike Tyson's house. And then Ken Jogger's back with his guys.
But he's very polite. He's like, get out of the car, please. I really enjoyed the please.
Then they start just dragging them out of the car. They don't give them a chance to open the door.
Get the fat boy.
But it's funny because 5 minutes later when they come out the car, on the passenger side, they have to climb out the door because they make a real think that it's broken.
Then when they start shouting at Alan, the outstanding line of, don't let the beard fool you, he's a child. That really resonated with me.
there is another line that I can't remember when it's said in the film now, which is great. It's a little gremlin reference. This kid, is he like a gremlin? He comes with instructions. I think that's well earlier in the movie, but I just wanted to say it.
I think that's when Alan is coming with them.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't drink past, don't let him drink, don't let him gamble, don't do this.
And the gambling is very important later on.
Yeah.
Don't let him gamble. But don't let him gamble is for different reasons. It's not a gambling addiction. But anyway, that is this point of the film where they've met with Leslie Chow. We find out why they took Leslie Chow, and it was because Phil said Leslie is his lucky charm and he wanted to take him home.
And then we find out that basically they've got get $80,000 and
they put
pay a
Doug
bit.
in the back of their car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. They
They've
show Doug.
They've showed Doug with the
Doug.
covered up. Doug, yeah. And they've lost Leslie Chow's 80,000 that they won. So I was a bit confused here, and I think it might have just been when I was watching it, but it made it seem like, I guess, Alan won Leslie Chow $80,000.
Yeah, so basically in the gate, so they said that they were all playing craps together, and he bet your hot streak, which basically means that Alan was rolling the dice, and then they were betting along with him. Because in a game of craps, you're all betting on the one roll of the dice.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just keep winning, the same person keeps throwing.
Is that the game then, where everyone's like stood around the table and someone will roll a dice?
Yeah.
And that's why everyone cheers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I never knew that.
I never knew that either. I thought when you just watched it, they were just like extras put there, and you're like, your job is to cheer on the people actually betting. I did not know that they all work together.
They're not working together.
Yeah,
So
but is
in
it
a
like
game
a
of
team?
craps, no, it's not a team. In a game of craps, there is one person throwing the dice, and everyone else is betting on what that roll of the dice is. But the very common bets in craps is what's called the pass line bet, which basically this is so complicated.
No,
Craps. Without a table, it's really hard to explain. But anyway, a pass line bet, before a number is on, you're winning if you hit a 7 or 11. And then if a number is on, you're betting on those numbers, same number coming again. So that's why, because it's the most common bet, if you say roll a 6 when a 6 is on, that's why everyone cheers, because everyone's won, basically.
Ah.
I never expected your gambling problem to come in handy.
I don't have a gambling problem.
It's not
I
a
just
problem.
like games of statistics.
He's still in the
It's a
stage
skill.
of denial with his addiction. He's not ready to admit yet that he's got a gambling problem. Walk past a casino with Chandler and walking out with $80,000.
Oh, I wish I was walking out with $80,000. But anyway, this comes to my bet. I guess going to talk about gambling. my real issue with the movie of when it comes to the scene of Alan winning and counting cards, because bollocks, it's all bullshit. Like the equations that they show on screen while
It's
he
hilarious.
is counting cards is so funny, yet all bollocks.
Yeah,
Because that is counting cards is genuinely not that complex.
I can believe that his thought process is way more complicated than it needs to be.
But also
his face, and I was like, I love seeing a meme in the wild like that, like seeing where the meme came from. And I was again pointing at my screen like, it's the meme. It's the meme.
But if lesson to the listeners out there, if you ever want to go to a casino and count cards, do not do it this way, because you will get caught immediately.
He's sat there mouthing
Exactly.
numbers.
No, but not sat there. He is stood there mouthing numbers. First of all, not betting anything, and then comes to bet, still mouthing numbers. Terrible way, because you will get caught fucking immediately doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed our gambling expert to tell us that, though.
But then the also bit is when they allude to the fact that the casino is cottoning on to him counting cards, because that's why the dealer says splitting fives, because in blackjack it's like basic strategy of like to play the best statistics for the hands is you never split fives. It would more likely be a double instead. So splitting fives is like a thing of you're either a fucking idiot or you're counting cards, basically. So that's how they allude to it. And then when Heather Graham falls over to
Heather Graham
distract,
Jade being the hero, absolute hero of the film.
Jade falling over to distract the pit boss. Bullshit. That is the only way that they can stop Alan is by like falling over on a chair, because there are so many cameras on a casino. There are so many people who are looking for people who are cheating that they would be called off by someone else in another fucking corner of that casino. They would have not walked away with 80 grand. Not in a million years.
Don't be bored.
I like your realism, but also one way of checking that it's okay is that they've left, not that they've cashed in the chips.
Yeah?
So they're just walking away with some chips.
I thought it was a loose fact. No, they cashed it out because he was counting the money in the car.
Kim Jong also said they must bring cash. So like they've played craps. He said that Kim Jong's lost £80,000. They've gone to casino. Alan's winning the money with blackjack. And they've left with chips, but they have to have cashed them out because Kim Jong was like, no, I will not accept a check. I will not accept anything.
But that's what I'm saying. like Heather Graham is on the floor and they're looking over and he's like, oh no, I can't believe this has happened to you. Stu is like, say, oh my God, how has this happened to you? And then they look over and they're like, and they're gone. No, you're fine. Get up. Surely you need like an extra 5 minutes to cash up the chips.
Yeah.
So surely you have to stay on the
But
ground
no,
for
but
a
the
bit longer.
80,000, but again, what they do get right about County Cards, to be fair, is they're working in teams. Because like normally what happens, if you like ever actually research this, is basically that you
Don't count cards. Don't count cards.
Is basically someone will count the cards until the count is high, which means there's a higher proportion of higher number cards in the deck, and then someone else will come over and bet big on basically that hot streak of the count being high. So what they have got right is them working in teams, but then Heather Graham and Stu also need to cash out their chips. So Alan's not won all of it. It will also be Heather Graham and Stu.
Okay, that makes sense.
Here's your counting cards lesson of the week.
We're learning so much.
What I will give you is that they would have been able to stop them as they go cashing out.
Yeah, 100%.
Easily.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Unless they're like super quick at cashing out. They're like, he's 80k and they happen to have 80k ready.
Oh my God, you've won 80k? Incredible.
Yeah, 100%. They are not leaving that casino with 80,000
I adored that scene. I was just crying at the numbers over his face. I just thought it was brilliant. I thought it was so good. So
Whereas me
good.
with my maths degree was just going, you fucking idiots.
Oh.
Bollocks. Degree drop.
Chandler is a maths whiz, and if there's ever numbers in anything, he looks to you for an answer. No one ever replies. Like, come on, boy. Come on, maths
And
boy.
the funniest thing is my mental arithmetic is awful.
Yeah, I feel like unless you're playing darts.
Yeah, unless I'm playing darts. Yeah, it's a fair point.
So it's great.
It's a fair point.
Darts just lots like, yeah, cool. Number. I'm like, Chandler, tell me my numbers, please. He could have like made me lose at darts, but was making numbers up all this time, to be honest.
But yeah, and then they go back, and then they give the money over to Leslie Chow, and then Doug steps out of the car. And at that point, do they not realise that that's not their Doug? Because Justin Bartha, exactly, he is giant. He is a tall man stepping out of that car, and they are best friends with Justin Bartha's Doug. And they go, no, our friend is short. Like at that point, do they not go, that's not our friend. That is not our Doug. That guy is taller than all of them. When in a shot, and you're like, that's not our Doug. Surely they go, that's not our Doug.
And he has a little. I should have noticed it from the height, but I noticed it because like I thought Doug was really skinny, and this guy had a little pot belly.
But the money is thrown over in the bag before Doug gets out of the car, and the guy does the standard movie thing of looking inside the bag and going, yeah, it's all there. How have you worked that out in 5 seconds?
Yeah, fair. And also, it was 82 grand. So he's either they've kept 2.5 grand or they've given him an extra 2.5 grand.
Like,
as a tip. Thanks for finding our friend. Here's an extra 2 grand.
Yeah, it's classic movie trope, but yeah.
So it's from here where it kind of does, like the film goes really fast, and I do love that they're like bouncing location to location, but it just kind of like, it's quite sudden here, the realization of where Doug is, because we realize Doug, the new Doug, is Alan's drug dealer who got in the roofies, found out that was a complete mistake, he got the bags mixed up, and then he goes on a little not tirade, but a tangent on why roofies should be named groundies
or floories
because they put you on the floor and not on the roof. It's because it's called roofing. But yeah, I kind of get his logic. I like it.
But it's at this point where Stu goes, oh my God, I know where Doug is. He's on the roof. Bullshit, right? This is what I said at the beginning of the podcast. At this point, no way do you realise he's on the roof at this point. You realise he's on the roof when you go, his mattress is fucking on the roof.
On
right?
a statue.
You go, he's probably on the roof fucking there. There are so many points in this movie where you go, he is definitely on the roof. Bullshit at this point. Bullshit.
But preach it. Because I would be with you if they didn't foreshadow at the start of the film, as I mentioned, that they make a point of showing you the door and they need to prop it open with the cinder block. Otherwise it locks behind them. And
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I'm saying, at that point they go, we probably went up to the roof again and he's probably stuck there. Like,
no, because I said it was so they would have taken it. They did and this is another thing in the film where Alan feels left out because they don't show it quite enough, but you get a vibe that he's clearly not one of their best friends. They talk about the time at camp when they took him and his sleeping bag and put him in the river on a jetty somewhere. and like pushed him out in a river, Doug. So they've then done the same with Doug. They've taken him asleep in his mattress, folded up, and put him on the roof of the Bellagio.
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah,
That bit I did not get. But the whole thing of like, oh, they're called roofies, but they should be called groundies or floories. Like,
fuck off. It's like that bit in Hot Tub Time Machine. Like this, as great as this film is, and as great as the writing is, this bit really pisses me off.
yeah, it's a bit too tie up with a bow.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad enough for you guys to be so viscerally angry at it. Like,
bullshit.
They have been.
I'm with you.
They've been roofied. They don't remember anything.
They haven't. They've been floored. On a roof. So they've realised that Doug is on the roof. They go to the roof. This is my next what the fuck moment. He has been on the roof for 36 hours.
Yeah.
It's very hot in the Mojave Desert during the day. It's very cold at night.
Yeah.
He has sat through a whole day of probably plus 30 degrees, I imagine. I've been in the desert, but it's hot. And then freezing cold temperatures and the same again during the day.
I don't think he would have died. And he is in
Probably would have died.
He's been in pretty terrible shape.
Like his whole body hurts, doesn't it?
His
Like
whole
when
body,
he moves out of the sun and attacks them, he's just like, oh my God, everything hurts. Don't touch me.
I will say, presumably, for some reason, he has spent a lot of the day while he was on the roof topless because he falls down on the ground wearing clothes and says, my skin hurts. And I'm like, your body is sunburned as well? But he was wearing a top.
No, but his hands, I imagine.
Yeah,
his hands, his neck.
So I'm like, why didn't he take his top off? But either way.
But he is doing the smart thing. He is trying to stay in the shade.
Yeah, he is in terrible shape. And I can believe him in terrible shape. His recovery, however,
I also love how
that leaves me wanting a little bit.
I also love how quickly Phil turns from being like so relieved that they found Doug. And it's like, oh yes. And then Doug starts talking and he goes, you know, you're getting married and you're wasting time by saying that. Like how quickly he turns from being really relieved to just being a dick again.
I know he punches Phil.
Yeah, well, attacks him, doesn't he?
Attacks Phil, yeah.
But then they're getting ready to go. They get down to the car, all ready to go. And then Heather Graham makes one last appearance.
It was at this point, because that was a really touching moment between them two.
Uh-huh.
And it was at this point that made me realise, oh, why didn't they just do it with Heather Graham in the second film as well? Like, they would have acted really long, I reckon, in that film really well alongside each other.
She returns in the third film.
She does.
Not as his partner, I don't believe.
No.
Oh, does she not?
No.
I can't remember much from the third one.
I can't.
She returns, they're trying to find Leslie Child in the third film. And they find Heather Graham as like, oh, where are all the escorts going to? Because that's what Leslie Child's been after, is escorts.
Brilliant.
But yeah, the wrapping up with Stu and Jade is everything this movie needs to finish it off.
But they even say like, oh, come back next weekend for a proper date. What happens that date? That's what I want to know.
But she does give back the Holocaust ring, which is nice.
She's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
She is a nice
really
lady.
Nice. She's a nice
She's
lady.
a nice lady. She's a nice lady.
So maybe it just didn't work out. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe she couldn't leave Vegas. Maybe she likes her work.
But it is also at this point that he is 100% like decided to break up with Melissa.
Oh, 100%.
Like he has made that decision in his head. It's like, I'm not getting married to Melissa.
Well, he just enjoyed time with someone,
Not hating on him.
not hating on him,
Not being toxic.
and then he goes back to his horrific girlfriend.
But I also love at this bit where they're waiting for Stu and Alan is just copying Phil. banging on the windshield going, come on!
There's a
Come on! I love it.
There's a couple moments there that's so funny. Did you notice that he doesn't swear in the movie, Alan?
Whatever.
He never swears. But he repeats them. So there's a point where, I don't know where it is. I think it might be when they're in the desert and he's going to call Doug's future wife. Maybe it's then. And Phil's like, God damn it, kicking the ground. And then you just see Alan in childlike way go, gosh darn it.
Yeah.
And then Phil goes, shit. And he's like, shoot, oh my word. He never swears in the film.
I didn't notice that he never swore, but the copying is brilliant.
I noticed the gosh darn it, but and then I've in a little bit of research found out he never swears in the entire movie.
Does he swear in the entire trilogy? That'd be
a good shout.
That'd be a good shout. I wonder.
Little trivia.
It is a little trivia. Yeah. That's for you, the listeners, to go find out and tell us.
It's a shame there's not Wild Hogs 2 and then a Hot Tub Time Machine 3, and then we just did the next series, the sequel.
The sequels.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
There is, but there's not a Wild Hogs 2.
We can make it.
So once they finished up with Heather Graham, Phil keeps announcing, he's like, 3 hours. We've got 3 hours. I Googled the drive from Vegas to LA. So this is from center to center. So give or take some tens of miles. It's 4 hours and 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you can drive 2 hours in LA.
Exactly.
But
But it could be the edge.
So logically speaking, you could get it done. Like speeding and all that, like you could get it done.
You could get it done.
Depending on where in LA they're getting married.
You could also delay by half an hour. You could just be like,
they are late. I think it's alluded to the fact that they are late.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
there's a little montage of them getting there, and there's close-ups of like the family and
Waiting.
the fiance and the dad are all pretty miffed at the time.
But again, Jeffrey Tambor again at the end when they actually get there.
So-
And Jeff Tambor's like, Vegas.
When they got there, I did want a scene with him seeing the car, but part of me thinks he also won't care.
The thing that... I was about to have another what the fuck moment here. No one is addressing the fact that he's sunburned
to fuck.
There's no addressing of it.
Well, no.
Until the wife at the altar goes, you're really, really sunburned. And he's like, I know.
But that's a really sweet moment for like two characters who haven't had a lot of time in this movie just to go, I am so sorry. And he says, like, I promise for the rest of our lives to make this up to you. And I'm like, that's sweet.
Yeah. And like, she's clearly a very understanding and lovely woman. She just didn't really, she was just relieved he was there, ready to go. Didn't like, if that was Melissa, can you imagine?
She would have stabbed Stu.
Well, she was angry. Like when she finally sees Stu at the
she would have slept with another bartender.
Like, I love the whole drama with them two at the wedding.
As soon as the wedding scene is over and we get the wedding singer, it's another modern masterpiece.
I loved it.
So do you know who that is?
So much.
Oh my God. I wrote this down. I was like, I bet Chandler knows exactly who this person is.
So no, they're actually, so Todd Phillips uses this band in a few of his films. They're called the Dan Band, and they're in Old School. This is playing. They're also in Starsky and Hutch.
Are they?
Yeah. The Starsky and Hutch is they play at Vince Vaughn's daughter's bat mitzvah, if I remember rightly. In Old School, I can't remember, but yeah. So they're like a fate. They're like, they pop up in quite a few films as the band.
I knew that you would know who these people are. What was the song they sang, James?
It was Take It to the Candy Shop, but like some jazz soul version. And I loved it.
But then when they also play
much.
Fame as well, it's brilliant.
Fame. I'm gonna live
Forever.
No. Monetization.
When he's dancing and grinding on the old lady and the husband just does nothing. He's like, oh, yeah, this happens regularly.
But I love Jeffrey Tambor. I love Jeffrey Tambor's face of like, who the fuck are you? You booked him most likely.
And finally, we get the reuniting of Stu and Melissa, and she's livid.
He finally stands up to his abuser.
Yes. He couldn't give a shit how she feels.
I love his like mic drop moment is like, until you fucked that waiter on your cruise last year. Boom!
And it's one of the points that you know she's a terrible person throughout this film, like you know that, but like it clarifies how horrible like she is when Stu's like, in a healthy relationship, a guy should be able to do what he wants sometimes, and she's like, that's not how this works.
And then they cut, and then
she's self-aware.
Yeah,
she's self-aware of how controlling and horrible she is, making her 10 times worse than if she was just doing it by accident, which makes her terrible anyway. She's just awful, and good riddance to her.
But through this whole argument, I love the cutbacks to like Bradley Cooper and Justin Bartha, who are like so proud of Stu. Like they're like, finally he gets it.
But I like how he's gone from that was when he was going to propose.
Yeah.
But instead he's dumped her.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
And he just goes, oh yeah, you are not a nice person.
Yeah. And I imagine everyone there hates her.
Yeah.
Like no one there probably likes her.
But I do rate Alan's attempt to try and shag her. When he says, I've been thinking about getting my bartender's license.
No, but it was more calm than it was like, hi, I've been thinking about getting my bartender's license. And she's just like, fuck off. No. I was like, fair play. I thought he might have a chance.
Do you think?
Yeah.
But then when like he runs off and goes dance with his friends, is great. It's like a real scene of celebration. Like I was like, it's a real like, yes, get in.
Stu asked Alan to dance, and I think for Alan, considering his whole insecurities around friendship throughout the entire film, because he isn't really one of the boys, but they bonded in this, over the course of their journey. And that is kind of the theme across all the films, is the bonding throughout the journey. Stu and Alan kind of clashed, and Stu was the one that really called him out on his crap. Like asking him to dance, I thought was like, not only triumphant because of Stu getting over Melissa, but also a little bit of a win for Alan because he feels included in the boys, in the pack, in the wolf pack. And to be honest, he's more of a wolf pack than Doug. Doug's never there.
Doug does get lost on the 2 next films.
Yeah. Doug was drugged, in fairness.
They were all drugs. But only Doug went missing. Only Doug couldn't get back through the door.
But I think it also says something to at the end of like got the dancing, and it's the final thing of them just sitting around having a chat after the wedding, and then they find the photo, they find the camera.
Did you feel really blissful at that point?
Yeah.
The sit around at the end, warm weather, pool, suits done, chill, maybe still got a drink in the hand. I felt relaxed.
I'm alright.
I know what you mean. I got the vibes.
Yeah.
Again, like, isn't that how you want your wedding to end? Like, before you go off with your partner and, you know, have the rest of your life with them, it's not just like one moment with your closest friends in the world, just chilling out and just chatting, like, just for like 5 minutes. And it's like to be fair, stag do starting in Vegas on a rooftop and your wedding ending just chilling out with your friends who've just had a real, like, 2 of you have had a real celebration that day. Is great.
2 of you having a real celebration that day.
One getting married and one breaking up. The photo camera, I think, again,
this is
it's a credit to the writing and the whole film of like, okay, let's see what they actually got up to with the photo camera. Again, very dates the film again of a digital camera.
They're having a resurgence. They're having a moment in 2024.
Weirdos.
They're back.
But yeah, great. And the only thing that annoyed, I loved every photo. I thought all the photos were great.
You said you got a list.
I do have a list.
Fully I love that you probably got paused and like looked at all the photos.
No, I didn't do that. I just like, there's strip club photos, there's them meeting Chow, there's Stu pulling his own tooth out, which is great.
Yeah. Loads with like Phil has a moment with Jade before Stu, where she's like lying on the table and he's like, I don't know, taking a cherry or something. Like, I can't really remember.
It is a question.
Not taking a cherry. Alex is looking at me like I'm just something wrong. There's a cherry. She's like on the table and he's got like an actual cherry or something. I remember there as well. We see that Mike Tyson has slept with someone.
Yeah, that's another weird one. They've walked into his room and taken a picture of Mike Tyson asleep. Bullshit, does Mike Tyson stay asleep at that? Like, he is waking up at people taking a photo of him.
Now, he's taken a lot of blows to the head in his
Mike
career.
Tyson might be drunk. Drugged.
But there's also blowjob. There's like Alan getting a blowjob off someone.
Yeah, from an old woman in the lift. And you see his penis.
Is that his real penis?
No, it's not. I do remember reading that it's not his real penis.
I don't think it could be.
That's a shame.
I mean,
there's some weird ones though, because like there's pictures with Carrot Top, the American comedian who's this weird picture with like I guess like a Frank Sinatra type band people.
Yeah,
he must have been there on like residency, and then just brought him down and be like, "We're making a film." But
here's the other with film. It shows a picture of Bradley Cooper, Phil in the hospital, but doesn't actually show why. Doesn't show why he's.
Yeah, we never learn why he's in hospital, which I kind of love.
Yeah, I agree, but it's also like a little bit annoying. The other annoying thing about all these photos, as we know, they've said the times through the day, like when they've been searching, all the photos are out of order.
He would say that.
Yeah,
they're out of order.
Yeah.
So Todd Phillips confirmed the photos at the film's end were completely real. Everything they photographed, they actually did go and do those things.
What, and the lines of cocaine with Carrot Top.
He said he would go out with the Hangover cast and capture photos of them doing intentionally weird things with his own camera and flash. So viewers may think they're staged with other actors, but truth they were taken much more spontaneously without planning.
Bullshit was Zach Galifianakis getting a blowjob off a random woman, spontaneous and not staged.
I would say spontaneous staged. Like he's got a fake penis.
Yeah, they probably went out and went, would you mind if you pretended to give him a blowjob with a fake penis? And the woman went, yeah, that's fine.
Apparently, I do remember reading that Zach Galifianakis was apologising to this lady while they're taking the photos.
I'm so sorry about this. She's obviously agreed to it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what other ones are. Okay, so they've got because we see them playing craps.
Yeah.
As well. You've got the tiger in the car with Doug. There's a monkey.
You see them leaving the car on Vegas Boulevard as well.
And one thing that we didn't see like during the film's run was Alan getting a belly button piercing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which would hurt as well the next day.
And then with the police car, there's just random women everywhere as well. Like Alex's titty count must.
It looks like they joined like a random hen do as well, like in a limo.
As you do.
Yeah. To be fair, they probably just wanted Bradley Cooper.
I mean, I want Bradley Cooper. I do think this film, looking at Todd Phillips's filmography, it holds up, and he has an incredible directing and writing filmography.
He also has a cameo in this film as well.
Does he?
Does he?
So yeah, you know the bit where they're on the lift up to the roof, like before the stag do started, and they run into like a guy and a woman in the lift, and the guy goes going up.
Is he the one that's licking out the woman?
He is the one licking out the woman.
Oh,
yeah.
incredible! So you got Starsky and Hutch. He directed and he was a writer. Borat, he was a writer. The Hangover, he's a director. Hangover 2 and 3. Obviously, they're not as highly rated as The Hangover, but he wrote, directed, produced those. War Dogs and Joker. I didn't know he did Joker. The modern
You didn't know
Joker.
he did Joker?
And doing the new one, the second one. I didn't know that.
He's a good director.
This film, obviously, is quite a wild ride.
But I loved it. I love it. It's really funny we chose this film because I actually watched it quite recently before I had to do my research for this as well.
Yeah.
Because I was at home, me and my partner and like some of our family were at home. We saw it on Netflix. We were like, let's just stick this on.
You watched it with her family?
Yeah.
That's why
Interesting.
Not? Like this film is.
I was saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. If me and Charlotte were ever to get married, this will be my stag do.
Nice.
Someone's getting ate out in the lift and you're like,
We wanted to do 3 films of different quality, and I think we kind of enjoyed them all. I think I enjoyed them all for different reasons.
I definitely enjoyed all of these. I enjoyed Wild Hogs, I think, more out of nostalgia than of how good the film actually is. I enjoy Hot Tub Time Machine because I think Hot Tub Time Machine is underrated. And again, nostalgia for me because I watched it a lot with my brother. And this film, I think, again, it's nostalgia, but it is just, it holds up. Apart from like the homophobia and...
They're all very homophobic and relatively racist at points, all these films. And they're a sign of the times, which again, it shocked me considering they're not that old. I definitely did like Wild Hogs the least. I didn't love it. I loved points of it and thought it was fun, but it wasn't good. Like it just wasn't good, but it was fun. Hot Tub Time Machine is... I think I agree with you, it was underrated. I really enjoyed Hot Tub Time Machine. I remember it from when I watched it when it came out. And I was like, okay, this is a fun film. The Hangover, you can tell, you can just tell it's high quality. It's snappier. You're always moving. There's no lull in the film at all, really. It starts with the action. You're never really in present day until they're like on the way to or they just find Doug. Great film. It holds up. And I'm really happy we did it. I know you guys were more on the fence of doing The Hangover, probably because it is a more higher rated film and it seems a bit more cliche, a bit boring.
We were on the fence about doing it because I think when it came out, it was so big, and over the past like 10 years or so, it's not like gone down at all. So it's like just been spoken about a lot. So we were like, what could these stupid takes really add to the conversation on it?
And it's hard to find another film of similar quality within that genre.
Yeah,
I really struggled looking for other films that kind of fit the same themes as Wild Hogs and Hot Tub Time Machine that were not just rated the same as Hot Tub Time Machine, at least.
But I think when we were talking about Hot Tub Time Machine, we were like, the cast elevated the material
100%,
because the material for Hot Tub Time Machine is fairly stupid, but because of the lovable cast and the way they acted, it is just again, it's underrated. It's a good film.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a great cast, great writing, great direction, great physical comedy, great soundtrack.
I'd say
it's apart from us nitpicking it to shit or me going, this wouldn't happen in real life. It's hard to really damage this film.
I think it's a modern masterpiece. I think you put it up there with, because it came out, so you've got Superbad, I think.
2008,
then there's this, then there's like Step Brothers, I think is around the same time. Yeah. There's so many like great like modern comedy classics that come out in this time, and it stands out. Yeah. And that's probably why we didn't feel we were worthy of taking it on. I think we've done quite a good job. I really enjoyed Wild Hogs for the same reason that you said. It brought back a lot of nostalgia. I didn't realise how terrible it was until we rewatched it, which was great for us because it meant that I had loads to talk about, but bad for the film. And I'm sure the stars of the film have taken it to heart since we released that episode. Hot Tub Time Machine I'd not seen before. I enjoyed the people that popped up in it. I loved seeing Chevy Chase back in all his former glory. Pre-racist days.
He was probably still a racist.
Yeah, he was probably racist then, probably more so. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go controversial here. I don't think it makes the any of the top 2 spots for me. I think it's probably bottom.
What, Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm going against the grain. I'm developing confidence.
What is your ranking then? And
Probably Hangover top, Wild Hog second. Just because the Hangover is just a modern masterpiece and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's no getting around it. IMDb score agrees. Hangover top, Wild Hog second, Hot Tub third.
That shocks me.
I'm definitely I don't know, nostalgia plays a part, but like Hangover just wins.
Do you not have nostalgia for the Hangover?
I do, but not as much as Hot Tub Time Machine.
I thought
Hot Tub Time Machine is a very, very, very close second. Like agonizingly close second where I'm like, all right, it could be first.
Are you fighting your feelings with quality?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you probably would love Hot Tub Time Machine more.
If you gave me a choice of what to rewatch right now, it would be Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
But like that's just because of my love and nostalgia for the
that's
movie.
fine, that counts. That's still yours.
Yeah, fair enough, fine. Hot Tub first, Hangover 2, and then Wild Hog 3.
And I think mine follows the order of quality, annoyingly. I think Hangover first, Hot Tub 2, and Wild Hog 3. I really disliked Wild Hog 3. I think it was so bad. It took too long. Hot Tub was just, again, I had similar nostalgia to Chandler. I love it, and I absolutely love some of the cast of that film. But The Hangover probably for me is, if you want to talk nostalgia, is probably the most nostalgic. It's the one I remember. I remember it being huge when it first came out. We were also all of an age when The Hangover came out where everything's a bit shocking still.
Yeah,
in that
Hangover
film
was one of those movies where people were like, your parents don't want you to see this.
Yeah,
one of like the last films where people were like, you should not go see this.
Yeah.
You should definitely go see this.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember watching it with my friends at the time, and everyone was talking about it, and everyone loved it. And then Bradley Cooper blew up, and everyone thought Zach Galifianakis was hilarious. It's boring, but yeah, unfortunately, I do think I follow the quality.
So basic.
Now we've got our top 3 certified. It's Hangover in first, Wild Hogs in second, and Hot Tub Time Machine in the third place. Last place position. It's last.
No, that's definitely not right.
That's not what we agreed
Join
to.
us next week for our new series on evolution films. Our first will be the film Evolution. I wonder how we came up with that one. Follow us on social media at 3 Takes of Stupidity. These have been 3 Takes of Stupidity from us. It's goodbye from Chandler.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from James.
Ciao.
And it's goodbye from me. Au revoir.
So that was The Hangover. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. It was good fun. It was good fun.
I listening back to this, I really enjoyed all of us just quoting lines from the movie and trying our terrible, terrible American accents.
Not today.
Not today. Not in here. Not up in here.
Still got it. A year on. Still got it. Right then, we will be taking a short week-long break while James recovers from his cooking in Thailand and Chandler repaints people's walls.
Why am I repainting people's walls? I'd love to do that as a job, to be honest. It does a lot better than what I do now, but yeah.
Painter.
So yeah, as Alex says, we're going to take a week off, so we will be back on the 30th of May with our next episode. We haven't decided yet what the next trilogy will be, so please, please, please send your ideas for themes, for trilogies, for movies. To be honest, just send a hello to our email or any of our socials. We really appreciate it. But yeah, you can find all our socials at our hot page. It's in the description. We're the 3 Takes of Stupidity, Instagram, TikTok, 3takesofstupidity@gmail.com for the emails. Please just send us anything, and we will most likely get back to you. I say most likely, 100% we will get back to you.
Chandler watches that email daily. And
yeah,
also,
I do. And nothing comes through.
And also, check out our Letterboxd account. I've got on the Letterboxd account. My account. Only mine. Mine. Alex Clinton, TTOS. That's the one to go for. I recently watched Falling Down, did Adolescence. I also had a go at Hot Fuzz. And I have yet to do Master of the Air, but you pretty much got my review on this one.
Nice. So yeah, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's probably goodbye from James somewhere in Vietnam.
Smells like napalm.